Sonic the Hedgehog was one of the first ever third-party characters ever added to Smash. I'm sure everyone knows where they were when they first saw that Sonic trailer for Brawl. It totally opened people's eyes to what characters could possibly be added to Smash. And if you think about it, no one really thought Sonic could actually be added to the series, even though there was a famous fake Melee rumor that Sonic was in the game. No one actually thought it could actually happen. When they finally added Sonic to Brawl, many people thought and speculated that Sonic was a last-minute character added to the game, mainly because 8 of his attacks share the same exact animation where Sonic balls up and hits the opponent. It's definitely a problem with the character because a lot of his moves come off as extremely lazy because of this. In the debug mode, Sonic is closer near the end on the character placement and doesn't appear in the main story mode until the very end of the game, so many people think because of this, he was probably added very last minute. Sonic competitively is placed right now at the mid-tier at 22nd place, which is his lowest competitive placing out of all the Smash games. Funnily enough, Sonic was placed even lower when the game first came out, at 33rd place. Yeah, pretty bad. Sonic is really fast, no duh, that's like calling water wet, so of course he's gonna be fast if he's in a Smash game, having the fastest dashing speed as well as having among one of the fastest walking and air speeds. His moves aren't necessarily the fastest attacks and definitely aren't the strongest, but he's fast enough where he can actually have some edge over some of the lower tier characters, especially when the meta developed further. As Sonic would later have a niche as a hit and run character, ironically I think this playstyle would develop into what made people hate this character in Smash Ultimate Online, but we aren't necessarily there yet. This is still Brawl, where Sonic is in the infant stages of that character archetype. Overall having really weak attacks, but somewhat being fast. So Sonic in Brawl is the fastest character in the game, however his moveset isn't really the strongest either. His moveset is boosted further by his spin dash and spin charge moves, which allow him to rip across the stage at really fast speeds while also attacking or jumping. The spin moves give Sonic a plethora of attacks and options to try to hit the opponent with, also aiding in Sonic's ability to potentially time out opponents as well. He has amazing recovery tools which makes him difficult to edgeguard. His throws are really decent as well, as they can set up for combos or setups or edgeguards. However, the inverse is Sonic is not a strong character at all. He's incredibly weak and struggles at securing KOs. He's one of the actual weakest characters in the game outside of his special moves. Along with that, Sonic has poor range, no projectile, and that means his approach options are rather basic and consist of him just running up and attacking. Sonic's neutral B is a homing attack which allows Sonic to mitigate some of the problems of dealing with projectile campers. His side special can even clank with projectiles and beat some of them. His down B is a great recovery tool and is good for following up attacks, and this attack was part of what made him so annoying in future Smash games. It allows him to move across the stage really fast, but thank God we aren't playing Smash Ultimate Online, this is only just Brawl. Sonic's speedy and long-lasting dash attack is another move that can catch opponents off guard, and it travels a pretty good distance as well. Forward smash is actually a somewhat decent KO tool along with back air, but unfortunately these moves don't have a lot of range. Up smash, Sonic jumps in the air and spins. Surprise, surprise, it's not really that strong of a move and it's not really good at KOing either, and it has a lot of end lag, so this move is definitely not good. Down smash, Sonic spins again, and this smash attack is actually good for covering rolls. His tilts are pretty weak and somewhat slow depending on the attack. His forward air is a multi-hit attack with low startup and ending lag, making it a decent multi-hit move, but it does have high amounts of lag. Up air, the first hit deals low knockback, which links into the second hit. The move is not really reliable, but it does have some very generous auto-cancel window, which does make it pretty safe on shield. Down air isn't necessarily a very strong attack, but it is really quick at coming back on stage, as it is sort of a dive kick. Neutral air has decent startup and landing lag, as well as having a long duration. Sonic, though, developed into a strong bait and punish character and is often regarded by Sonic players it's better to just kind of run away from the opponent, which again I mentioned earlier how this just became a menace for the character in future Smash games. It sort of developed here in its infancy. Sonic has one of the best shields in the game because of how quickly it pops out and multiple ways he can go into it. Sonic can cancel any of his spin dashes and charges into a shield, and this allows Sonic to fake out his opponents, causing them to make hasty moves, and then Sonic can capitalize on this by punishing them. This has led into why Sonic had pretty average tournament results at first, but he developed his own niche and now is a much more decent character than he was initially. But still, despite becoming 22nd as of right now in Brawl, it still still wasn't enough to make him rise higher because he's still really weak and his moves have pretty terrible range. It's commonly felt in the community that Sonic had a rather lackluster moveset in Brawl. A lot of his moveset is also just him balling up, so a lot of people don't really like that, which is why Sonic was changed from a bait and punish character to a rushdown character in Project M, and his moveset got changed for the better. Project M Sonic was greatly changed. Sonic is still the fastest character in the game, but now his moveset was given almost a complete facelift for the better. And I know what you guys are thinking, I'm tired of Sonic being a campy, boring character that just runs around and balls up, right? Yes, I know, camping Sonic, it's really annoying. This version of Sonic had a lot of love put into it. The Project M team took pride into giving Sonic a moveset that they felt he was gypped on. But now with the faster engine of Project M, Sonic is now getting things like wave dashing, dash dancing, moonwalking. Honest content sucks at moonwalking with Sonic, so sorry, I'm not Michael Jackson. Overall, the buffs of Project M's engine is like a new home for Sonic because previously he had great movement in Brawl, but Brawl's engine is the equivalent of a turtle tripping in the mud. Now he can fully reach his potential in speed. In Project M, Sonic's attacks are night and day stronger than what they were in Brawl. Moves that were previously really risky to use are now strong tools and can actually take stocks now. Up smash, which was previously a very terrible move in Brawl, now can actually safely secure KOs. This is also a good tool for Dakising as well, so go crazy. Forward smash is now a stronger tool, having less startup and end lag. Probably one of the coolest new changes was removing some of those terrible animations where Sonic just balls up. Now Sonic's attacks pull from Sonic Battle and other Sonic games as well. Sonic's down smash is now a breakdancing attack, having less end lag and startup and dealing higher amount of damage. This is easily one of the coolest new attacks Sonic was given, and there's plenty more awesome new attacks that Sonic has. Up tilt was made into a flash kick. Now this is a single hit move and is great for starting combos. Forward tilt is a single hit now with a stronger and more powerful hitbox and less end lag. Down tilt is a strong tool at starting combos. His grab has slightly more startup lag, which is actually a nerf to the character, but his grabs have more combo potential now, especially his up throw and down throw. Neutral air has a new initial hit which deals more damage and has stronger knockback with a larger hitbox now, having less startup and also less end lag, and it even auto cancels earlier. So this move, yeah, it is a little bit of a trade-off now with more frames of ending lag, but it actually is just much more better in utility. Forward air is another attack that was given a complete facelift, and I'm not even a Sonic main. In fact, I hate playing against the character even in PM, but my god, this forward air is such a cool move. Another Sonic Battle reference here. This move is when Sonic will throw out another leg kick and it can meteor smash on the heel of the foot. This move is actually more deadly as an off-stage tool where Sonic can actually punish recoveries now with this tool. Compared to Brawl forward air, this move is slower, sure, and it doesn't have the same capabilities as Brawl Fair did, but in my opinion, the utility of the PM version is so strong and rewarding. I definitely prefer this one way more than the Brawl forward air. Back air now has a sweet spot on Sonic's foot, which makes the move more rewarding with the correct spacing and also having less end lag too. Up air's hits now link together more consistently and have less startup lag. Down air deals more damage and has more knockback on its sweet spot. It's significantly faster with startup and has lower landing lag, and it also now has a meteor smash hitbox as well. Sonic's special moves also have some interesting changes. Homing attack, which now actually works more consistently. Sonic also has a nice little animation change when he does homing attack now. It's actually a nice change I really enjoy. Sonic's up B was nerfed in vertical recovery distance, but Sonic still has a strong recovery even with a nerf up B, still having side B and down B as very capable tools. Speaking of side B, it's now a Somersault Attack. This attack is easily one of the strongest rushdown tools that he has in PM. He can cancel the attack when he hits somebody with this attack and even wave dash away from the attack and continue combos with it. If you use this attack on the ground all the way, you'll even get a kicking attack that is really strong too. This move sweet spots the ledge, and like I said, it's still a great recovery tool. Easily one of the biggest buffs that Sonic got was this Somersault Attack in PM. Down special was slightly revamped as you can now wave dash out of this attack as well. Still acts like the classic spin dash from Brawl, but it's now way more effective at racking up damage. Sonic received a huge buff to his costumes, receiving a plethora of new costumes that range from references to Shadow, Tails, Silver, or even Jet Set Radio Sonic. Also, if you were bothered by the main version of Sonic Sonic in Brawl not having plain red and green skins, well, PM has you covered too. His taunts even got buffs as well, I guess if you count that. You can taunt cancel them now, you can loop them forever if you really want to be passive aggressive, and this is also another area where the PM devs flex their creative muscles, actually giving Sonic a completely brand new up taunt that is really cool. Oh yeah, and if you want some Project M history, Sonic was completely busted in many of the earlier versions of Project M, and even had some super jank Sonic specific tech where he could have a spin dash that was invincible on one frame of it. Yes, it was actually invincible, you're not actually mishearing that. Project M 2.0 was a fun time indeed. Obviously, these broken versions of the character would definitely be toned down and removed, but something cute that I thought I would mention. In Project M 3.6, he was ranked in the A- tier, and in Project Plus, he's in the A+ tier. So Sonic is definitely a good character in Project Plus, having way more strengths to the character, becoming a rushdown character, and also just being way more fleshed out. While he did get slight nerfs to his recovery and his weight being decreased, he is definitely a viable character in Project Plus. The new moves he was given in Project M also just tremendously help his moveset and define him in a brand new way, so I recommend you guys trying him out. He's definitely viable in a already jam-packed, viable cast of characters.